So recently there's been a bit of online controversy about a game called Airport Master, where they have filed a trademark dispute against Jim Sterling. Now, this is nothing new. I mean, copyright disputes have always been a big thing that people have had to deal with. Trademark ones, on the other hand, not happening so often, and it doesn't really make any sense, considering that a trademark dispute is usually to prevent confusion between multiple products, and I don't know how you could possibly think that Jim Sterling made the game that he was critiquing so heavily in the video, but, you know, people will do silly things. And the reason this whole thing started was due to the EULA agreement, where it says, quote, "You may not reproduce, distribute, publicly display, publicly perform, or otherwise use the software, except with prior written permission by the licensor." Basically, they're saying that if they don't tell you you can do it, then you're not allowed to make a video about it. And, okay, that's a very flimsy part of the EULA. It would never hold up anywhere, by my estimation. But, nonetheless, you know, it's in the EULA. And I'm a person who likes to follow rules. I like to make sure that everyone, you know, is going about their lives and adhering to the things they're supposed to be doing. So I figured, if I'm going to get in trouble for covering Airport Master, if I don't get written permission, then A, I'm not going to cover it, so this video is officially not covering Airport Master, it's covering STICLI Games, which is the developer of it, and B, I'm going to go and get permission if I can. Now, getting permission, though, that's kind of proving to be a lot harder than I thought it would, because despite my best efforts, I have yet to get permission or any sort of reply from STICLI Games over the last few days, where I have repeatedly asked them for permission to cover Airport Master. So let's go over all my attempts here. So the first thing I did was go over to their Steam page and make a discussion forum that basically said, "Hey guys, let me cover your game, give me some written permission like you want in the EULA." And someone else did, too, actually, so good for you, sir. You're adhering to rules. And then other people went in there and they started linking me to, like, Sid Alpha's videos, which I think is hilarious, because he's, like, you know, an online buddy of mine. Seriously, we're best friends. And despite a few other replies, I got no word back from the developer, and I thought, okay, well, you know, there's a lot of discussion forums on there, there's a bit of controversy going on, maybe they just didn't see it. So then I went over to Facebook and I sent them a little message with my official Facebook page. I don't think I can show it to you because for some reason they don't save those, but I sent it over to them and I have yet to get a reply back. So with that failing, the last thing I did was I went over to Twitter and I've asked them twice now directly to allow me written access to cover Airport Master, which I still have not received a reply. Now, I sent all these out around Sunday evening, and I figured, okay, maybe they just haven't had time to reply to people, or to do a whole lot of social mediaing, or just check their messages in general. But that's a little bit confusing, considering they have had time to reply to other people like Jim Sterling, so, you know, that's a thing that's happening. So the only thing I can assume is that they have, in fact, seen at least one of my messages and decided to ignore it completely. And now they're under no obligation to allow me, you know, permission, heavy air quotes, to cover their game. And you know, while I think this EULA is pretty flimsy, would never hold up anywhere, I did try to follow it, and I think that the company should be too. They're under no obligation to tell me that I can cover the game or anything. I could anyways, of course, but I thought that maybe I would just try to go through the process that they wanted me to. Now the problem is, they don't seem to want me to go through that process. So here I am trying to adhere to the terms of their EULA, and they are completely ignoring me. So it's almost like they put that EULA in there specifically to uphold only if there was negative criticism about their video games. But hey, if they think I'm wrong, then that's totally fine, and they can prove it as well by giving me written consent to cover Airport Master, as I've requested multiple times now. I am PattyJack, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.